Yes, sir. We are back. Another week, another day for another episode of you know what this is, Diamonds and Pearls, right here on Texas 101 Jams. I'm your host 91. Joined with me is
Big Kane, the greatest host in the world, giving you them diamonds and gems every week, every Wednesday, 3 through 6. Got me up now, go follow Instagram, and today we have a very special guest.
Yes, very special guest. Now, normally we are interviewing a lot of music artists and they're dropping gems on us. But if a lot of people didn't know, I'm a huge film guy. I love film. I'm a huge movie nerd.
Okay.
I feel like you bust out some movie trivia within my generation. I can kind of, I'm gonna do pretty good. So Jeopardy, that's my category when it comes to film. But we have a filmmaker with us, with my man Ike.
What's up? I go by Ike, and I am from Ike TV Productions.
Okay. Ike TV Productions, tell us about that.
All right, so Ike TV Productions is so I started off as a YouTuber, right? So I'm that guy that's like, I was just running out there just making skits. I was just out there just filming stuff, and I've been doing that for a couple of years, and all of a sudden I just started getting better at it, and I was like, man, like, hold on, wait a minute, like,
what kind of skits were you doing?
I was just comedy stuff, I was just like, whatever comes in my head, I would just go out there and just click play. And I just kept getting better and better. Then one day I was like, okay, let me take a chance on myself. So I was like, I'm gonna make a series. And what did I do? I made a series.
Okay, and this is all on YouTube.
This is YouTube, but my series is now on streaming services.
Gotcha. But you started out on YouTube. Yeah. What was one of the hardest things about starting on YouTube?
Everybody wants instant gratification and instant results.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the kind of person to where I just did it because I love to do it. I didn't care about the glory and anything. I just did it because I just felt like I was destined to just go out there and do stuff like that. Every week I would just be in my room chilling, thinking, hey, what should I do today? And I would just come up with an idea and I just run out there and just click play.
So is this something that was kind of like, were you always into film? Or like, what really prompted you to start the YouTube series?
So what prompted me was I've just been always creative as a person and individual. Ever since I was a kid, I was a huge cartoon fanatic. Like, I would always watch cartoons like Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, and
What, you an anime guy?
not really
Just
anime,
strictly cartoon.
but just like, this is when I was younger,
Right.
we all get older. So I was just thinking, man, like, what if my show was on there one day?
Mm-hmm.
And I would just write comics. I would draw comics, just put my ideas on paper, because back then we didn't really have smartphones or anything. And I'll just put my ideas on paper, and then like eventually I was like, okay, let me try to record something, and then I just started ITV, and I was just almost every other week I would just make something. And when I was noticing is I was getting views, like I was getting subscribers and views, and when you get stuff like that, that's just a sign to just keep going.
Right. Somebody's liking it.
Yeah, someone liking it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me ask you, how do you feel about, especially since you started out on YouTube and going through the process, how do you feel about the monetization rules now?
So honestly, I really don't care about the monetization. I feel like as a creative, you shouldn't be doing it for money. You should just do it because this is what you want to do, this is what you love to do, and this gives you joy. And anybody that's in it for the money is destined for like a bad journey. I just feel like if you love something, the money's the last thing in your mind. It's just it's an outlet for you. It's a way to express yourself. But to answer your question, I just think it depends. Everybody just has their way of just expressing themselves, and sometimes some stuff we make can be controversial. So not everything is meant for the internet, and that's okay. But still get your stuff out there. Money or not, just keep doing what you got to do. Yeah.
How do you feel about like the censorship over certain things that you put out nowadays? Like how we used to have a freedom of speech. It's not really like that when it comes to film. You can make a film and people could just be completely like, oh, like, they completely missed the art in it.
My God.
It's like.
So what I've noticed is that with film, I feel like we have more freedom to do what we want to do, and we're less likely to get canceled because I feel like people view film more of like an art compared to music, where you can only say certain stuff. If you say certain things, you're gonna get canceled. But
right.
I feel like I lean towards film because I feel like I can say whatever I want and I can create whatever I want, and people are just gonna consume it. feel me? So yeah,
It's some wild stuff out there on YouTube.
I mean, yeah, but and I'm glad you brought up YouTube because that's like, you know, a lot of people know you hit YouTube, you get a little digging, you'll get a little deeper.
But they do a much better job now of, like, I heard there's someone on YouTube that watches every single video that is submitted. It may take a while to get to it, but there's someone that goes through and their job is to pull off content off of YouTube. It's easier when people are reporting it and flagging it and things like that, but...
Yeah. What I heard was that there's a team at YouTube that's responsible for basically trying to watch every video that's uploaded and making sure that nothing is controversial.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wouldn't do a job like that. You know, I'm sorry.
I think from what I remember hearing, I think they offer them like some type of like counseling and everything because of like the stuff that they're watching.
Yeah.
It's so much, especially if you're watching things that have to get flagged and taken down, and that's your job every single day. You got to imagine the content that's, you know, being pushed onto your subconscious at that point.
Man, from what I hear, I feel like nowadays everything's automated. So when you see something when the internet's, or let me say this, when the algorithm sees something that's controversial, I feel like technology has moved to a point where they can flag it immediately or like put a check on it so somebody can review it. So yeah,
the job probably a little bit easier now than it was even a year or two ago.
Exactly.
With AI. Okay, so your series is called, now, all right, you're graduating from YouTube. You still do stuff on YouTube, right?
YouTube University, shout out.
Yeah, and where can we follow you on YouTube?
Okay, so my YouTube channel is Ike TV. I mean, obviously you will know because you know how there's so many people with the same name, but I'm clearly the one with the most subscribers. So IKE TV is my YouTube channel. And what I'm known for is I'm just like, my YouTube channel is basically, it's kind of like a series in itself based on me and my weird world. So everything you watch is gonna be me in a situation. So in one situation I might be playing spin the bottle, in another situation I might be singing along. So I'm the kind of guy to where I'm expressive and I'm very comfortable in expressing who I am and what I want to do. So you will see like a lot of skits or short films or vlogs of just me doing some crazy stuff. So this is a lot of the stuff I was posting was pre-TikTok era. So if TikTok was around during my time, man, it would have been a smoke competition. You know, I would have dusted competition.
So let me ask you this. With that being said, you started from YouTube, went on to doing short films, and you know, making whole overall pictures and, you know, motion pictures, I like to call it, because you know you gotta visualize and actually see.
I like that word.
Yeah, I feel like it's not respected as shit. Motion pictures, but what do you feel was the difference between you actually dropping with a certain person besides pitching your ideas to a streaming platform?
Okay, so here is my this is my inspiration. So I just feel like in this day and age, we have the ability to go out there and make our content. Like back in the 2000s, 1990s, and beyond, like you literally had to be boots on ground in the vicinity where people are actually shooting films.
Right.
So in this day and age, we have phones, we have so many resources to go out there and make our stuff. People are making millions of dollars based on doing simple skits or just
off an iPhone.
Yeah. So I feel like with me, my thought was individual ownership of property. So I feel like if I have the resources around me in a place that's affordable and I can go out there and make my own stuff, like why do I have to go to somewhere where they have more money, you know? And I feel like I've kind of taught myself the game. All my years of doing YouTube videos and all that stuff, I've kind of taught myself how to make film. You know, they say experience is the best teacher, and it is. So I was able to teach myself the game, and I feel like the best way to make it is to just learn the game, teach yourself. Right. You know, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes.
Before we go to break, I do want to ask now, since it is a lot easier for everyone to become a filmmaker with this phone, do you feel like that's saturated the industry in any type of way?
I don't think it has, because I feel like there's so much content out, so we don't even get to see everything. And you have to realize there's a lot of countries and certain stuff we're not even seeing. So I feel like the internet has provided a fair grounds to creators, because we're able to show ourselves, and you're gonna have an audience. You know, you might not have the biggest audience, but we have we have the ability to find our audience. So everybody has an equal opportunity to express themselves and be seen. You feel me? Yeah.
good points. Very good points.
Very good points.
Because I was gonna say, man, I was like, do we feel like, you know, because people are doing little quick, real template stuff, it's taken away from the value that people see in the quality?
That's a good question, but I feel like quality is more dependent on who you are as a person in your brand. Because I feel like as a creative, it's not always about quality. It's more about consistency and forming an identity for yourself.
And I don't like that you say that. It's not always about the quality. One of my favorite skits from YouTube, Unforgivable. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, I do.
The quality was terrible. But it was like, as kids too, it was like, man, that really went. There's a lot of things out nowadays where, you know, right, the quality does not always have to be there. Yeah. But we are bringing a quality interview to you right here on Diamonds and Pearls, my man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at DapMeUpNow. We're going to take a very quick break, and we're going to be back with more from my man Ike the Filmmaker. He has a series called The Red Box. We want to hear all about it, so y'all stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Red Box.